everyone. Welcome back to the Infinite Talks podcast for Castillo. I'm here live from Atlanta, Fayetteville, Georgia. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I'm at the Trilith Hotel. Look at the scenery here. Beautiful. This is a new area in town that's been developed, and they have lofts right here, the premier lofts. They have all kinds of restaurants. Very cool place to live in. I'm gonna be here for a conference for the next couple of days, and I made it here safely. Thank God. It's been a beautiful journey, man. This whole journey today was I was by myself. I told my wife, "Hey, you don't want to go with me?" Because she's really good at like itineraries and schedules and all that stuff, and I'll just kind of like go with her flow. But this time on my own. Had never used Uber before, really. I don't think I've ever used Uber. I had to use it today. I've never been in a Tesla. Never been to Atlanta. Never flown. I've flown by myself before, I think. No, I've never really flown by myself. Not that I remember. It's always been with my wife and my kids or family. So this time around, I had to do the homework and get the apps, get the itinerary, look at the schedule, look at the flights, look at the terminals, all that stuff. So I get to Laredo airport and like around 4 in the morning with my wife. She drops me off. She's like, "Hey, well, have safe travels." And I'm walking in there like a nervous wreck, but at the same time, like it's everything's gonna be okay. Like I'm a positive guy. I try to look at the positive things in life and not to stress too much on the things that I don't have control. And I try to worry about what I have control for. So I end up pulling up to the airport and then I take off from Laredo um to Dallas. I get to Dallas and that's where the little bit of the stress begins because first of all, you don't know what terminal your next flight's gonna be. So I'm like trying to figure it out. I'm looking at the damn terminals, but they all like switch very rapidly and it's really hard to see which one's next, which one's next. And to finally I see it and it gives me the terminal A33. So I look for how to get there. So how to get there. So I get into this train. It takes me down like to the next stop. And I'm there and as I have time, let me go get some breakfast. So I go get a smoothie with peanut butter and protein and, vitamins and stuff like that. So I'll go get that. And then I go back to the terminal where I was at and I pull out my computer and just to see if I have any emails and check the itinerary, try to figure out the Uber stuff because they gave me a voucher for that. Trying to figure that out. And then after that, I'm like, all right, got some phone calls to make. So I'll make some phone calls for work and get that figured out. And then I take a walk. I actually go to the restroom and then I take a walk just to see what's out there because I had like a 2 hour layover and I'm just like, let me go take a walk. Take a huge long walk and back and forth and I see all the shops and see all the restaurants. Like, let me go sit down and just make sure I have one more email before I get on the plane. I'm there in the terminal, have my headphones on, trying to listen to a meeting, but I couldn't get on that internet service. So then I was like, you know what? It's time to wrap it up. It's about time to, get back in. They're gonna start getting the plane ready for us, right? So I'm like, it's almost time. Dude, I go to the checkout right there in the where they attend to you like at the flight attendants and all that shit, and they're like, I said, "Ma'am, well, what time is the flight for Atlanta, Georgia? Is it gonna get ready to board?" And she's like, that flight has been changed to gate A19. I was like, "What? What?" I started panicking. I was like, "Holy shit!" So my intuition told me start walking. You're gonna find it. So I was like, trust the process, trust the gut. So I'm walking down if I'm in A33, I had to walk down all the way to A19, and they were boarding the plane already. By the time I get there, it was my turn to actually they at the same time I got there is when they called my group 8. So I was like, "Oh, nice. Nice. Right on time." So I wait there in line. I asked the guy in the front like, "Hey, is this the right flight?" Yeah, yeah, you're good, you're good. So I go in, sit in my seat. I'm one of the last ones to sit down. So I sat down and there was two people there already. I was like, I had to get up and I sit down and as soon as I took a book because I didn't want to use my phones when I'm on the internet on the airplane. So I started reading the book for a little bit and I got really drowsy, really tired. I was reading the civil mind control method and I'm almost in the last pages. Like I'm almost done pretty much. I'm reading the appendix and case studies and all that stuff. So I get really drowsy and I just put it away and I fall asleep, man. I didn't wake up till like 10, 15 minutes before getting to Atlanta. And we pull up and I'm starting to think, man, the trick now is to find my baggage, to find my luggage, right? And then get an Uber. I've never done that before. Like I've never done that before by myself at least. Yeah, I'm a modern guy with old school times. I just call a taxi or ask a friend for a ride. So um I'm walking towards the luggage and it's a long ass walk. I'm like, dude, they're gonna get there. Where my luggage gonna be better be there. So I'm not gonna be stuck with the same clothes for the whole 2 days. So I get there and I was like, it's a long walk. So I'm waiting for my luggage and everything's telling me like, just chill, chill. Like, so I'm chilling. I'm trying to relax, trying to. Cause I don't want to feel like I'm too relaxed and then I mess up on things that I should have caught on. But I'm relaxed enough where I know everything's gonna be good. Because if it would have been me a few years ago, I would have been a nervous wreck, like all scared. So I'm waiting, and as soon as I get there, like maybe like 3 minutes later, my luggage pulls out, like right on time. Oh, like man, everything's happening like when it's supposed to happen. I get there, luggage is there, get it, and then I'm like, all right, now where do I get the Uber? That's the question. And I didn't want to ask because I don't want to ask yet. I want to try by myself. But I was like, nah, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, let me ask the lady. There was a lady that was working there. I was like, hey, ma'am, where do you find or where do you get your Ubers? And she's like, wait, 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 wait. Ask me again. And I was like, oh, sorry. When you're gonna request an Uber, how do you request it like in this location so it can be specific? She's like, no, 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 no. There's an Uber pickup. Go down aisle 5 and then take it downstairs and it'll take you there. I was like, all right. Thank you, ma'am. I was being positive. Thank you, ma'am. You're great. You're awesome. I want us to spread positivity. I don't want no negative vibes. So I'm walking over there, and then this another lady looks at me. She's all like confused, like, "Do you know where the Uber pickup is at?" I was like, "I don't know, but I think it's this way because they told me to walk this way, and then I can see the signs that says Uber pickup. So I'm just gonna follow that. So I'm pretty sure it's down over here. So I kind of guide her without even knowing, and I guess she believes me, and she starts walking. I end up at the Uber area, and I'm like, all right, now I have to order an Uber for the first time. So I look at the damn app, and I'm like, all right, destination, the Trilith where I'm at right now. And I say, it gives me like recommendations, right? I'm pretty sure if you used Uber before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you'll get like a recommendations of people who are nearby, different types of cars. And I didn't know what kind of car I was getting. It just says economy. Is like, no, not that. I just want a compact, like one car, like something for me. I press and then it gives me your driver's 2 minutes away. I was like, oh shit, this is working. And I was like, I wonder what car it is. And then I look at the details and it tells me it's a Tesla. I was like, oh shit, never been in a Tesla. So the Tesla is I can see that it's pulling up. And it's the weird thing is that I had a dream 2 days ago that I wasn't a Tesla, but it was my Tesla, a black one. It was weird. I had that dream 2 days ago, and now I'm in a Tesla in real life. I told the guy pulls up. His name is Joel. Shout out to Joel from Atlanta. He's like, I told him, hey man, I've never been on a Tesla. It's nice. It's nice. You know, yeah, get that a lot. I told him I've never been to Atlanta. This is my first time in Atlanta. It's my first time in a Tesla. He's like, "Ah." So I put my luggage in there, put my backpack in there, and get in there, and we start driving. He starts talking, man, badass. He gives me like all the scoop and what's going on, the growth that's happening in Atlanta, where he's from. Amazing guy. If you ever get Joel from here, Joel, he's awesome. And he took me all the way to the Trinity. It was an easy breezy ride, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and we were talking the whole time about mindset. You know, he's from New York. He moved to he's originally from a country over there in South America. He's African American, but he moved to New York when he was 10, and now he's in Atlanta. He has a 18, a 17, and a 13-year old, a 17, a 16, and a 13-year old, and he's like, man, I've been over here, and it's been amazing over here, like living in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, because there's a lot of space. You know, it's beautiful over here. It's trees. Over there in New York is very congested. You know, traffic. You have to get around by transit, and over here, well, it's a lot more spacious. I told him it actually resembles Texas. I told him. He's like, yeah, yeah, I've been to Texas. He's like, this kind of resembles Texas, except there's more trees and it's a lot more green. I'm like, yeah, man, it's beautiful over here. It's amazing scenery when I was driving over here. And then he's like, a lot of people that are from New York, they don't like to move out from New York because they're scared of, or they don't have the mindset to adapt to area like this. They have to be driving. They're not used to that and all that good stuff. So I was like, yo, no, that's true, man. Like, but for some people, if you have the right mindset, you'll be able to adapt and change and make the modifications to, excel in life, no matter how the struggle it is or how you see the struggle. So he's telling me about like how he moved over here and he loves it over here and how he's been working like and as an Uber driver now and he loves it and he makes, pretty decent money like doing that and driving around in a really nice car, a Tesla. And it was just an amazing ride over here. Really, can't say anything bad about the trip over here. It's been nothing but greatness. I've only had one meal though. So right after this, I'm gonna go eat something good. And tomorrow is gonna be a beautiful conference, man. It's gonna be a conference on numeracy, early numeracy skills with children, from 0 to 12, 13, 16, 18 years old. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what I'm going to learn. I want to know what I can bring to the table when I come back home to Laredo, and share the knowledge with the folks over here and maybe share some wisdom as well, and amplify our greatness in Laredo, Texas, as I'm part of a lot of movements, initiatives to make Laredo a better place and the best city to live in. A learning city where you're always learning, no matter how old, how young, or where you are in life. There's always an opportunity to learn. So we're taking that drive and that initiative to make Laredo the learning city, the best city to live in, where you can learn at any point in life. And shout out to Dr. Romero. He's the one that kind of put me in this frequency to be here right now in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And he's a great man. He's from Australia. Dr. Romero is dean for the communication. Oh no, he's a dean um for teachers for the education department. He's the dean for them, and he's a really good guy, man. A lot of good thoughts and good planning behind everything that he does. He's a mover and a doer. He starts doing stuff and doesn't think twice about taking too long about making things happen. There you go. I muted myself. But this guy, Dr. Murrah is amazing. badass guy. So today's episode is just about that, man. Sometimes you get obstacles in life that you have to challenge by yourself. You have to trust the process. If you have God in your life and you're doing things right, more than likely you'll end up doing things. Plus, my mom, my dad, they've been praying for me. My wife has been having good intentions for me, praying for me. My kids and I, we had dinner last night. And we just talked about like these opportunities, how we got to take them, even though sometimes you might be by yourself, but you still have to do them because it's for a greater cause. And I was telling them that I'm going over there with the intention to learn something that I can bring back to our city and our people and, make an impact, make an impact and empower our people to become greater at whatever we need to do to become a greater community. So I was like, yeah, this is where I got to be right now. And my wife's telling me, hey, how do you feel? Like, well, honestly, it's easier traveling with you and the kids because I don't have to worry about too much. She's the one that has it down. Like she's amazing at trying to find this and find that and find deals and getting us where we need to go with the best price and thinking about all of us. So she's really good at that and doing it by myself it's harder. So shout outs to my wife for all that beautiful support when we're all together and but we were talking yesterday during dinner and we're like um we're kind of sad, right? Because we're gonna be apart for a few days, but I was like, hey, sometimes we got to do these little sacrifices to empower each other and do it for a greater cause. And she's like, yeah, I'm praying that you do find you know some wisdom over there and bring it back. And she didn't say in those words, but that's the intentionality behind what she said. She's like opportunities. She was talking about opportunities, how you got to take advantage of them, and that you'll get more opportunities from taking one opportunity. So it was cool to have that dinner time last night with my family before I left. It was kind of sad to not see the kids in the morning when I took off, but I told them, hey, when I come back, we'll hang out because we're gonna have a long weekend. So looking forward to that. Yeah, it's been a good old time. Like I said, in life, you're gonna have little obstacles here and there. You're gonna have situations that are gonna come about that might look hard, but if you don't push through the threshold of what you think you can do, then you're gonna stay stuck. So you got to push through the threshold and figure things out, and figure things out with using your mind. Don't let your emotions take over, because if your emotions take over, like they almost did to me, probably wouldn't have been here right now. I would have been somewhere else. And where the hell the truth? But yeah, so blessed. Look at this beautiful scenery we have, me, man. It's amazing. The shops, a lot of people. This is like pretty new. The guy was saying this is like new construction and a new area in town that's been developed, and it looks really nice, to be honest. Retail and everything. But yeah, guys, just wanted to say that it's to do things in life, do it with for a greater cause. Any decision you make, if it's for a greater cause, something that's going to impact your life, your family, your community, the world, then you might have to go through some obstacles, but those obstacles will be worth it, and you'll be all right. So today's podcast is about going through those little obstacles, thinking that you can do it, and visualizing good things. Visualize the greatness. If you get stuck with the negative, then you're gonna be stuck with the negative, and that's what you're gonna manifest. Like I said in other episodes, what you think is what you bring into the reality. So thank you all for tuning in. Remember, go to infinitetree.online and remember, we are not a brand. We are frequency. Deuces.